Real, I mean, today we are actually airborne, like we actually say. Gentlemen, you're welcome to the studios of Z101.9 FM.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Charlie, guys, why the S? I mean, you could have done anything. Why piloting? Let's start with Ernest.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'd like to say a very good morning to your cherished listeners this morning. Being a pilot actually is something I really wanted to do growing up. Yeah, it's my passion. So I started off by applying to a school in South Africa, and then that's where the training all started.
Every kid I grew up with seriously wanted to be a pilot. I recall, everybody wanted to be. How did you materialize yours?
Yes, I understand. I mean, I get to hear these stories a lot. I want to become a pilot. But I think the problem we have in Ghana is we don't have enough flight training schools. So, I mean, getting access to the flight training becomes a bit of a challenge. So most people end up, shifting to other careers. But, if the government should make it available, just like the other universities, I think people who have the dream to become pilots can also get access to the flight training school. I had it a very difficult challenge getting through. Outside, funding or the training itself became an issue. But once it's your dream and you're passionate about it, you can really pursue it. But I think the government should put up enough flight schools for us so that we can.
Are there any at all?
Currently, we have one
flight
training school, Star West Flight Training School. Yes, it's in Osu. Yes, so that's the only flight training school we have right now. Yeah.
Is it expensive to attend a flight training school?
Yes.
In fact, is it expensive to be a pilot?
Very well, yes. It's very, very expensive. Yeah, to become a pilot. Yeah, it's very expensive.
In what? Why is it expensive? Where is the cost coming from?
Yeah, so training, we have the aircraft, we have fuel prices, accommodation, instructors, getting the license as well. Yeah, so putting all this into consideration makes it a bit expensive. From SPL all the way to ATPL, which I will explain those types of licenses. You should be looking at somewhere around more than $50,000. Yeah.
$50,000? More than?
Yeah.
Okay. That's quite interesting. Let's come to the guy with the drones and the guy who wants to go into the engineering. Why that field as well?
So it's been my passion since I was young to be into aviation. So I got the opportunity to go to KNUST to be part of the aerospace engineering program.
Tech has a program like that.
Exactly. We have a aerospace engineering degree. So I went through that route, and then with initially I also wanted to be a pilot at the beginning, but with the education we got, the experiences we had, I felt that my passion was into
repairing it,
aircraft maintenance,
repairing it, not flying it.
Yeah. So and it's one of the biggest and the most important fields in the aviation industry.
Most definitely,
because you cannot fly your aircraft without
the maintenance.
Yeah, because all the aircraft that fly to Ghana, if they are not maintained properly, you will have a lot of accidents. So that's where my passion came in. Yeah.
Oh wow! Let me. Does it take some kind of bravery to want to be a pilot?
Yes, I should say because the machine, you should be able to handle it very well. You should be courageous enough to hold it. So you need some sort of braveness to be able to fly, but you can build it up, because growing up I was really scared of heights, but now I am flying, so anybody can do it.
Okay, you heard him. Anybody can fly. Anybody, just don't go try it like that. Okay, take us through a typical flight preparation and planning process. For you maybe whilst doing that, and you also share some of these practical experiences with us. You want to fly, you do what? You wake up that morning, what happens? You are supposed to be on a flight that day. What?
Oh, okay. So let's start off with the scheduling. So once you are put on schedule, let's say you are flying let's say, typical Accra Kumasi. So when you get to the airport, you first have to go to the operations room. You meet the flight dispatch. We have a flight dispatch over there. So he handles, he does the planning for you. So you're going to Accra Kumasi. You're looking at the passengers you have on board. You're looking at the fuel, the weight you'll be flying, and then if there's any special, maybe there's a kid on board, someone who is sick, or somebody who needs a wheelchair or anything, the dispatch will now brief the crew. So the crew consists of the first officer, the captain, and then the cabin crews. So the dispatcher will talk to them that today we are going to Kumasi, this is the weather, you have this amount of fuel. In case there's any challenge on your route, you can divert to this alternate airport or anything. So you have the dispatcher who does most of the work for you as a pilot. So the dispatchers, we call them the ground pilots. They are on the ground and then they do the planning for you. Yeah, so on a typical day, you really have to liaise with the dispatchers to have a safety flight.
And then, so he does, he's like a producer of the show.
Yes.
Then you come and sit in and you start flying it.
He just sits in and fly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you must be on very good terms with him.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. I mean, we are in an industry whereby we don't really talk about them, but their work as a dispatcher is really, really huge. They really do a lot of work to ensure the safety of the day-to-day activities of the flight.
Okay. We'll talk about this because, so you've done the inland, you've done Kumasi, Tamale, Takoradi inland flights with any of these? I mean, not necessarily as a pilot, but even as a passenger. Have you flown over our skies?
Yes. First, I was in South Africa, and then I came to Ghana. Yes, I've done Accra, Kumasi, Ho, Accra. Yes, it looks like a triangle. Yes, so being a passenger is different. And being behind the controls is also different. So
who fears more, we or you?
I would say we see it first. So we see it first, but you don't have to panic. In any situation, you still have to continue flying the aircraft. In any event, you still have to continue flying the aircraft. So we see the dangers ahead, and then in terms of weather especially, before we tell the cabin that, okay, there's weather ahead, okay, prepare for turbulence, prepare for anything. So we see it first, but you don't have to show any sign of fear or panic. You just have to fly the aircraft.
Charlie, last year I fly one. Hey, if I had a piece of paper, I would have started writing my will. I'm telling you. I mean, it's still like 10 minutes into, like 15 minutes into Accra. So all you're praying for is to
land.
Charlie, to land. Do you also go through the same feelings as pilots?
Yes, I wouldn't lie about it. Yeah, sometimes weather can really beat you up, and then severe weather conditions, especially we are about to enter into the rainy seasons. So, yes, in anything you do in aviation, safety is a priority. Yes, so we put safety. If you can't land due to the weather conditions, yes, you have to divert. And then
back Ghana, where are we diverting to? If you are going to Tamale, you divert to where?
Yeah, so you can divert. Depending on the time, you can divert to Abidjan. Yeah, you can go to there because it's happened before, yeah.
I heard of one that happened, that they were on their way and they had to go to Cote d'Ivoire. Charlie, the guy just they go Kumasi come.
Yes.
They land for Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah, safety. I mean, safety is a priority, yes. So we don't joke with safety.
Then there's this one, I mean, that we are told they went all the way to Tamale and whatever didn't come out, so they had to return to Accra. Is that true? Can that happen?
Yes, I mean, as a machine, we have the engineers here, and anything can happen. But, I mean, once again, the safest mode of transport is by air. I mean, we make sure that a lot of things are in place, I mean, to avoid certain things. But once it happens, we are being trained to handle it in a professional way. So
let's come to the engineer. That what would cause a plane to reach Tamale and not be able to land and come back to Accra?
So basically, like you said, in aviation, the safety is the highest priority, and it's the most regulated. It's the most regulated industry in let's say in transport, because
it is. Yeah.
The rules and the regulations you have to follow to even be able to operate an aircraft. Like that's why we don't have a lot of airlines in Ghana, because it takes a lot to be able to get to that stage to be given an air operator certificate. So all these things are parts in your maintenance, your operation. So you have to prepare for all these things. But like my colleague said, it's a machine. Things can go wrong. You can follow a maintenance program. You can do everything expected of you, but things will still go wrong. And in those situations, they are they don't frequently happen. But when they happen, it's a problem. But so and the pilots are trained to handle those situations the best they can.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
Boeing, Alaska Airlines,
exactly.
This Boeing's incident, I think is the latest one.
Exactly.
What could cause something like that?
So with that one, it was a problem in the manufacturing. So it was from Boeing. It wasn't from the airline's operations. So there were some manufacturing defects.
Okay.
They didn't follow some procedures. There's a whole big issue with Boeing right now. But that was the root cause. So they had to go back to the drawing board and make some changes to the way they manufacture the aircraft.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So let's come back to the pilot. You are flying the plane, door comes off. That's like emergency. What are you to do?
Yeah, so in every emergency, there's a procedure to follow. Yes, so yes, once the door comes off or it blows out, yes, you have to quickly follow the emergency procedures per the manufacturer and then what you have been trained to do. But quickly as possible, you just have to land.
Wow.
Find a place and land, yes.
Interesting. What are some of the most challenging weather conditions you have flown in, and how did you navigate them?
Yes, thunderstorm, I would say, yes.
Was it in South Africa or in Ghana?
In Ghana, yes. En route to Kumasi, yes. It was a bit severe. And then I'm flying a single engine aircraft, so you could imagine if something happens, you're just coming down. So it was a bit of a challenge, but we managed to land the plane safe. Yeah.
So wait, I was about to ask this question. So what, you have to be Krife or something up there, you for love God or something? Guys, Charlie, help me out here. You are in the good church or what do you do?
You just have to stick to your training,
trust your training.
Yeah, yes. Because it takes a lot to go through that training process, and you're prepared for all these scenarios. So the first thing, when something like that happens, you should just be calm. If you panic, you crash. So you just have to fly the plane, just be in control. Whatever is happening around you, just keep the plane in the air, and then you can start making your.
I was in this flight from Kumasi to Accra. And it was that bad. And let me tell you how bad it was. So bad that when we touched down and, the plane came to a halt, no one got out. Like, we were so scared, we were still stuck in our chairs. Yeah. And people were now praying and all that, giving thanks and all that. Yeah. The whole praise and worship started and all that. Now, the question I was asking myself, so you pilots, do you pray like we do at the back?
Personally, no, because yes, we all believe in God. We pray before the flight. Yes, but the training we've been taught to always aviate, navigate before you communicate. No matter what the situation, you have to fly the aircraft.
Aviate, navigate
before you communicate.
Yeah,
so in any situation, just keep on flying. Follow the procedures. Whatever the manual is saying, just go according to it. Don't start with the prayers like what the passengers are doing. Yeah. Just continue flying the aircraft. Even if it's on fire, still have to fly it.
How do you stay focused during the flight? I was going to ask, do you ever feel sleepy? Because me, after 12:15, my mind shuts down. So what happens to you? Do you ever feel sleepy or something like that?
So it depends on the flight. If it's a long haul flight, like going to Accra, New York. We are two, captain and then the co-pilot. So you don't always hold the machine. Sometimes autopilot comes in. Yes, so there's a time you need to rest. So you have to tell the captain, if it's 30 minutes, normally if it's a long haul flight, first officers usually have like 30, 40 minutes, and then the captain will have a longer period. So, it's not sleeping, you just have a nap. You don't have to sleep. Yeah.
The one that they have to wake you up.
No. You don't have to sleep. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. And that you are taught that as well.
Yes, I mean it's all part of crew resource management. How you deal with your captain.
Yeah.
Always make sure that you have a very good environment that you can all fly and communicate, because the two of you are the one flying the aircraft.
Yeah.
You don't have to fight over controls and all that. Yeah.
And even in the long haul flights, like sometimes you might have 3 pilots,
Okay.
and then you have one resting, and maybe let's say in halfway on the flight, he'll come and replace another, and then they'll be rotating like that.
Wow. Like
Yeah.
running shift.
It's a running
Yeah,
shift
yeah,
in the
yeah.
aircraft, because safety is the most important thing. Exactly.
Amazing. Safety is so important.
Yes.
And that is why we keep bragging in quotes that air flight is the
Is the
safest
safest. Yes,
form of
Yeah.
how do you what measures do you take to ensure the well-being of passengers and crew? I mean, because we're all in your hands. That's why you're called a captain.
Yeah.
So what is it all about that display he or she comes to do and all that thing that they've been doing in the middle? When something happens, then they'll do their hands like that and all that. Is that all about it?
Yes, it's all part of safety. I mean, if the cabin crew is flying 5 times a day, you should be doing that demonstrations. Every flight you have to demonstrate to the passengers. Yes, it's all part of the safety process. For you to know that if in case something happens, whether the pressurized system will come out or you just have to use the exit doors, who goes out first and all that. Yeah, so first they have to demonstrate it for you to see. It's all part of the safety measures, I mean, we put in place to make sure that passengers are safe. And then if you have a passenger who is acting up,
jittery.
yes, so yes, that one too can be taken care of. Yeah.
I mean, this safety thing.
Yeah.
You see, I'm going to share a lot of my personal experience. So I get this seat number that I'm minding my own business. Charlie, you pray and everything, made a hard thing happen. Then this lady comes to me and says, "Oh, I'm sorry I have to disturb you. The gentleman who is supposed to sit on this seat said something. So if you wouldn't mind taking a seat and all that."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Charlie, what kind of wahala said?" Because maybe my angel is on this very seat. The angel God assigned. So yeah, I exchange it and I go sit where this gentleman. Then this lady comes again and said, "Oh, I'm sitting by an emergency door." Then she's giving me a private lecture. I'm like, what wahala said this one? Why is that so important? How can you put the safety of everybody in the flight in my hands?
So in those situations, it's emergency, because we all have to be aware of what we have to do in an emergency. That's why at the beginning of the flight, they tell you if there's turbulence, your seatbelt, if you're about to crash, brace for impact, all those things. And if you crash in water, where to find your life jackets, and even the oxygen mask in case there's cabin depressurization. So in the event that you are sitting next to an emergency exit, if there's a crash, we have to get people off the aircraft as quickly as possible. So you should know how to open the emergency exit, because the cabin crew could be at the front or at the back, or he could even be indisposed, or something could happen to him, and now people cannot get out, and then there'll be smoke, because in the event there's a fire, it's the smoke that will kill you first. So you have to you have the job of ensuring that people get off the aircraft as quickly as possible.
I mean, okay. Let's go on. I mean, so one of the things I've noticed about your industry is the changing regulations. Like every time, FAA is like one of the most common words I ever hear every time, because I'm into the business space and business journalism. And every time, FAA regulations. Why are you so regulations biased, and how do you stay up to date with these changing regulations at any point in time?
So like we said, safety is a priority, and we learn all the time. So that's why every aviation industry, every aviation administration or authority has to be always updating its regulations. So maybe today things are going fine, but today somebody might do something wrong. It's not a serious issue, but it's something that could lead to something else. And they check it, they put a regulation on it that in this scenario, don't do this, don't do that, because they know it could have a larger effect somewhere else. So that's why we are always there's always changing regulations and updating. Even some regulations could be outdated, and they may not apply to our current situation. So they have to update them to make sure that everybody is safe at all times.
And what do you people have like a common platform where these regular regulations are sent to you, or what? How do you get a new change?
So I don't know about the pilots, but the engineers, we have normally if there's a change in the aircraft, we have something like we call them airworthiness notice directive.
Okay.
And we have service bulletins. So the manufacturers are always updating you with changes to their aircraft or in better ways of performing maintenance, so that you're always aware. And then your organization, we have a quality department, so they are in charge of these things to keep the crew updated on the changing regulations.
Interesting. Exactly. So how do you do it as a pilot?
Yeah, basically it's the same
okay.
thing. It goes through the same process. Yeah.
Interesting. Let me also find out that, does it demand physically, or is there a physical toll on you as a pilot in this line of work? Do you have to be gymming or something? Because playing big, so you know, is there a physical part of this job?
Well, I would say physically you have to be fit. Yes, you have to always be careful of, especially what you take in. Yes, always. I mean, there's a checklist we go through anytime you have to fly. It's called a safe checklist. Yes, so personally, you have to always make sure that, yes, you have enough rest. You have, you take things very serious. You don't involve yourself in a lot of things. Yeah. So
you don't drink some things?
Yes, you shouldn't consume certain things.
But I mean,
it goes for the engineers as well, because they even need it more.
Yeah, so regarding alcohol, there's a time limitation. So before a flight, you shouldn't have taken alcohol. I'm not very sure on it, but
6 hours.
8 hours.
8 hours, yeah.
Okay.
Before a flight, and we have a certain alcohol percentage level in your body. Yeah, I think it's 0.04%.
Yeah,
so all these things, and we have the inspectors at Civil Aviation Authority, so they can just come on to, before a flight is taken off, they are coming to do a test on you. So if you have marijuana in your system, any drug that's not supposed to be in your system, or there's some alcohol, you'll be sanctioned, and it will go to your airline, and it's a whole other issue on its own.
I know this question would come up, so let me even ask before. Chalayipu paid that well, like we hear?
Yes, aviation pays. Yes.
Okay, I think that's the best answer. Yeah. Aviation pays. I won't ask you anything else. I mean, for me, that's good enough. Because, growing up, there is always this mindset. The rich people you buy doctors, engineers, pilots, so, and prophets. Yeah. Prophets too are very well paid. Yeah, okay. Let's come to the area of drones. Let me narrow down on drones. And there's this picture I always like to use when I think of drones. You know this picture of the helicopter pilot, the cameraman at the back.
Yeah.
And there's this picture, and then they said the drone took away all their jobs or something. Yeah. In Ghana, how advanced are we in the area of drones?
So it's a great industry in Ghana actually, but we haven't gotten to a point where it's being widely adopted in all the industries. But currently, some industry like the mining industries, they use a lot of drones for their let's say exploration, and also we call something stockpile calculations.
Okay.
So basically to measure how much material they have to in the mining industry. And we also use drones in the entertainment industry, like videography. Yeah. So like you have a wedding, you want some drone shots, you can have that. And in the real estate industry, you can use your drones for your marketing, and also we can use drones for inspections. So like you have a large piece of land, you don't know what's happening on it, you don't know whether people are encroaching, all those things. You can just take your drone up, and it can do all that work for you. And you can also use drones in the surveying. So now that's where it's picking up in Ghana. So you can do some land surveys to do for your construction, or like road construction, for building construction, big projects. Drones are really needed in that industry because it takes a lot of pressure on other people. It also makes things easier because, for example, if you have like a 100-acre piece of land, you want to do something on it, the only way you can be able to do a proper survey is either you go on land, on ground, and you have people to do all that work, or you take a helicopter, like you said. But that's also an additional cost.
Yeah.
Now you can just take up your drone, take it up there in an hour or two. It will be able to take all your shots, and then you can do your survey. So it's going to make your work very easy.
I mean,
Exactly.
and you said they are drone pilots.
Yeah.
Trained.
Yeah.
But the guys I saw at some wedding, he went to a school. I doubt if they went to any school.
So with drone pilots, anybody can be a drone pilot actually. But we have certified drone pilots we call them remote pilot license holders. So per our regulations, Ghana Civil Aviation, you need that RPL line, that RPL, if you want to operate commercially.
Okay.
So anybody who is operating a drone for commercial purpose, that is, he's getting paid or getting some form of money from it, you have to have a remote pilot license. But for your recreational purpose, like you are just a drone enthusiast, so you just buy a small drone that whenever you travel, you just like to take some shots. You are not required to have a remote pilot license. But if you want to perform commercial flights, or you want to go outside of the regulations, like flying above a certain height, or doing some night flying, those kind of things, you need to have had a remote pilot license.
And the training happens here in Ghana?
Yeah, it happens here in Ghana. So currently, we just have one remote pilot training organization. Is UMass that offers that program. So it's a 2-week program that you go through, and then you pass and get a certificate, and then you take that certificate of completion to GCA, and then you perform something we call a skill test, a knowledge test, and then some medicals, and then after everything is assessed, then you will be issued a remote pilot license.
Amazing. I didn't know that, because those guys don't look like, I mean, they were just taking some videos. Maybe the next time I see somebody like that at a wedding, I'll walk and say, Charlie, can I see your RPL? RPL, right?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Charlie, see a day for, man. Remote piloting license. Master, where's your RPL? If he doesn't know, I'll sack him from the program.
I mean, it's illegal as well. It's illegal to do that. Yes,
to operate a drone commercially without a license to do that.
And your drone needs to be registered.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
The drone too must be registered.
Exactly.
So the thing is, the drone is an aircraft.
Here we go.
Yeah, people don't look at
Here we go. The drone is an aircraft.
It's an aircraft. Technically, it's an aircraft. So we have it has a term which is the RPAS, remotely pilot aircraft system. So the drone is an aircraft. Anything airborne needs to come through Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. Yes, because you can use it for a lot of things. And then, so we need to register your drones like we register aircrafts. You'll be given a number, identification number to it. Yes.
You have to renew every year.
And you have to yes, it's not like a toy.
So anybody in Ghana with a drone that is not registered is breaking the rules.
Please, if you have a drone and you have not registered it, you have so says Cecil Abrakwa said. If you
Ghana Civil Aviation.
you are quoting Ghana Civil Aviation.
Yes,
it's not personal.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, let me come to the pilot. Let me find out. Charlie, we don't have Ghana Airways. We don't have a national carrier. There are plans. It's been going on. It will come. What are the thoughts of Ghanaian pilots regarding a national carrier?
Yes, this national carrier thing. Personally, as a pilot, I feel we need it. We have a lot of Ghanaian pilots outside who are willing to come in and help. We have someone like Captain Quinn, who is currently in Ghana. He flew the Airbus A380. He's a Ghanaian. Imagine we have a national carrier going outside there doing all these things. Having it here will be something that we'll love to do, because comparing other countries to Ghana when it comes to the industry, they have it. Growing up, if you hear countries like Rwanda, you know what comes in mind. But right now, Rwanda, when it comes to aviation industry, they have a lot of
Rwanda.
Yes, countries like Ethiopia, Kenya. I mean, yes. So, I mean, I feel the same energy they are using it for these IMF negotiations. They can also
Put it into getting a national career.
Yeah, get it for us so that, I mean.
Is there a sense of pride as well in this?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, once you have it, I mean, you can also boast of it. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to have it.
But
I find that interesting because if so you put me at some common pilots forum and the Ethiopian pilots are feeling cool that they have airline, Rwanda guys, SC, and then Ghanaians.
Yeah, I mean, currently we are on a platform. We have a page called All About Aviation. We have a lot of pilots on that platform over there. So, I mean, we feel sometimes they throw shades at us that we don't have a national career. So, I mean, once we have it, we can also talk when there's a discussion.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Ghanaian pilot talking plenty. Then some Ethiopian guy comes and says, Master, you cry, you don't have a national.
Exactly. I mean, all your resources, we don't even have one national career.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I mean, we used to have, but because of mismanagement, is
So
exactly.
if you go make that argument, Charlie will laugh at you.
Yeah.
I can understand. So 0544321019, 0544321019. Join the interesting conversation we're having. The landline is 0303956641, 0303956641. You can also join us on Instagram, Facebook, and X at ZFMGH, and on TikTok and also on YouTube. It's at Z Multimedia. The website is zmultimedia.com. You can join us and listen to the interesting conversation we're having right in the studios here. I'm here with Captain Enesowa Akujiram, who is the pilot, and Cecil Abrakwa, who is the engineer. We're having an interesting conversation. Let's talk about the future of aviation.
Okay.
Where do you see aviation in Ghana in terms of the engineering side? In the next 5 to 10 years?
In the next 5 to 10 years is quite promising because we have companies that are coming up with plans to set up maintenance facilities in Ghana to be maintaining aircraft from all around the world.
Interesting.
Exactly. So,
do I have a caller on the line? Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you calling from?
Peter, my name is Enes, and I'm calling from Tema.
Okay. Enes from Tema, please share your thoughts with us.
Okay, so I'm also a drone operator, but I use it with the company, and I'm not registered. I have not registered it for a roofing company. When you are done with the roofing, then I just go and take some short videos about the roofing. But I have not registered. I don't even know about that. I just heard it now, and I want to ask and know more about that, so that maybe if there is any exercise taking place, then I can also come and take part in it.
Okay, so Ernest, if we got you clear, you operate a drone for a construction company, and you do it when the roofing is done.
Yes, please.
Who owns the drone, the company or yourself?
It is the company.
Okay, and it's not registered. Okay, so hear Cecil out on this.
okay, so regarding that, when it comes to drone registrations, we have 3 types. We have the recreational aspect, we have the private aspect, and then we have the commercial. So for his case, it's going to fall under the private. So the construction company has to register the drone in the company's name as a private drone. So that means that your drone is being used for, it's not making money for you, but it's helping you to perform some activities within your company. So like the construction company like this, they are using the drones to take images of their finished work. So that doesn't fall under commercial, but it falls under a private registration. Exactly.
Wow. And Ernest, did you get that?
Yes, please, I got it.
So if Ernest wants to register, where would he go?
So first, you just have to go to the Ghana Civil Aviation Authorities at Kotoka International Airport, and then you just inform them about your intentions, and somebody will get to you. But if you need some help regarding that, we can leave our contact, and then we can assist you with that process too.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, Ernest, you heard Cecil. So when we're done, you could call this line, and then I'm sure, or you could send a WhatsApp to 321019, and I'm sure we'll be able to get you help. Thank you so much for calling, Ernest.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the weekend. Yeah, so you see, you've already started educating people. So it's important that this thing was done. World Pilots Day. Is there an event? What are you people doing? I mean, are you going to do some, like World Pilots Day, you would have expected some displays in the sky or something?
Yes, but currently we don't have any plan in Ghana. But
Okay.
in other countries, because it's celebrated worldwide, so other people have some air shows going on. But I think with time we'll try and organize something when it's our day. So yes, it's a gradual process. We'll get there.
How many pilots are there in the system?
Ghanaian pilots.
Yes, I mean, people who call themselves pilots within these 4 walls of Mother Ghana. Because I'm looking at the numbers game. If you are like 1,000 and you held an event, it will be big, eh?
Yeah, but we are not close to 1,000. But
Okay.
But it's quite a few. As a personal, I know more than 50
Okay.
Ghanaian pilots, but they are not in Ghana, flying in
All
other
around the
countries,
world and all
in Qatar and other places. Yes, but we have a lot of Ghanaian pilots. It's just that we don't have a national carrier, so sometimes they don't see it necessary to come. Yeah.
But come to think of it too, if pilots are having a holiday, it won't be an exciting holiday because they'll still be flying around.
Exactly.
yes. In this industry, in the aviation industry, we don't have holidays, we don't have
Yeah.
Christmas, we don't have anything. Once you're on schedule, you have to go.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is there another call coming through? Okay, all right. So please keep your calls coming and keep your comments also coming. We're having an exciting experience. Someone has said that one of the things that you people do in this industry, the look, that your look you put on, like when you're walking out of, if you're sitting at a lobby of a hotel and you people and your females are passing to go sit in that your van, they take you to the airport. Is it deliberate that we should fear you all? How do they get, Charlie? It's like they've choreographed the way they move. They tell me about that. It's also part of the training.
So that one is purely marketing. So yeah, marketing for the airlines. Yes. So I mean, imagine you seeing a pilot with some looks, you will not be even tempted to book that.
You're trusting your life in his hands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to look, I mean, very, very decent, trim your hair and all those kind of
Even
things.
the way you walk.
Yeah. So I mean,
Everything,
it's
The way
good
you
for-
walk,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you
I
must
mean,
walk confidently.
Yes, I
the
mean,
cabin crew, they have dialogues. They are really
It's
keen
all
on
part of
those
the
things.
training.
It's all part of the training.
Hey,
yeah.
Charlie, sometimes I'm sitting at some lobby and I'm watching,
Yeah.
I'm like, Charlie, what is this?
Yeah.
You are even intimidating
I
us.
mean, that was what even made me to become a pilot, actually. So my dad was, working at the aviation industry. So anytime he travels, I'm the one who has to pick him up. So I'll be sitting down at the terminal and then I'll be seeing them passing. But I just see white people passing. I'll be like, so this job is not meant for the black. I mean, when will I also become? Because I really wanted to become like them. But like I said, there wasn't any flight school at that time. So, I mean, getting access to the training was a bit difficult. So I really went on the internet and then searched for schools. I asked people about it. And then shout outs to Captain Kelly. So he was an Air Force pilot. He really helped me then to make sure that I become who I am today.
Is that different between the two? Commercial flight pilots and Air Force, I mean, those who tend to thing in the air like that, are they different?
The fighter jets, I mean, those are for the military. So, yeah.
So their training is a bit different from yours.
Yeah, they are maneuvers. We call them maneuvers. It's a bit,
Commercial, everyday pilot won't.
Yeah, we don't.
You don't do
You
those.
can't turn out the passengers.
No, not us. Not us when you are alone in the plane.
I mean, for training purposes with a single engine aircraft, yes, I did some spins. Yes, you do spin and you learn how to spin, how to recover from a spin. So if you find yourself in that situation, you should be able to recover that aircraft. Yes, I mean things sometimes go off. So I mean you are trained for those emergency procedures. Yeah.
So the training that we're talking about, which is what you said happens internally, there is practical to it within the shores of this country, within the borders of this country. I'm sorry.
I don't get it.
I mean, you said it's at Osu. You
The
said the
training.
training school is at Osu.
Yeah, the
right?
school is in Osu, but then the training is being held at Afienya. There's an airfield. at
That's the
Afienya.
part I wanted
Yes.
to get.
There's an airfield at Afienya where you can take off and land. Yes. So most of the maneuvers have been done over there, steep turns and all those things. Yes.
You mentioned Ho as one of the places you've gone to.
Yeah.
What did you go do there? I thought that place was not functioning commercially.
Yeah, so I used a training aircraft. So that's a single engine aircraft. Yes, so we went there for refueling and then came back to Accra. Yes.
The flights that we take within this country, I mean, these internal flights, the internal flights, are they all done by single engine? Because you've mentioned that twice.
No.
There are also what engines?
That's a multi-engine aircraft we used. So we look at Passion African World. They are using a multi-engine.
Okay,
Yeah.
but for training
purposes, you need a single engine to start with.
Yeah.
and when the engine goes off,
You're coming down.
Yeah.
interesting.
And that's the reason why we have the multi-engine, because like flying commercially is different from flying private or for recreation. So for example, we have the two or three engines or even four engines sometimes for redundancy. So if one engine goes off, the aircraft can still fly with one engine. So
Yeah.
that's why, and there's several, and even on the aircraft, we have several systems. We have maybe for a hydraulic system, you might have three of those, so that if one goes off, you have two. If two goes off, you have one. So when you see an aircraft, is a amazing piece of engineering, and everything is being catered for. So you should have some faith that nothing's going to happen on the aircraft, because
Yeah, but we'll still pray.
We still
Faith there
pray,
we
yeah.
have, but we'll still pray. Yeah, we have power, but
Yeah.
we'll still pray. You mentioned, I mean, for recreational purposes or something.
yeah.
Are there people within this country that fly around for recreational purposes? They have their own planes.
Okay, so currently we came up with a program during COVID. We call it Flight Discovery. Yes, so we have one aircraft that's a single engine aircraft. Yes, being owned by an individual. So what we do is, if you want to become a pilot, or if you just want to have an experience, a cockpit experience, how it feels like to be in front, and then sometimes we give you controls to hold it to see how it feels. Yes, so it's been done for recreational purposes, but outside it's
common.
It's common. It's very common.
People
General aviation is
own
very common.
aircrafts like
Yeah.
So this thing you started COVID, are Ghanaians enrolling?
Oh yes. We had a lot of people come in, and a lot of people showed interest.
They got to be rich, man.
Yeah.
They have to be rich folks to come do that.
Oh, not really. I mean, just pay for 1 hour flight. We'll just take you up there and then give you controls. Just have a feel of whatever is happening. Yes, because people think that pilots are that special. People, no, you can also do.
No, you're special. Don't be modest, my brother. we refuse. Honest, we won't allow you to be modest. You people are special. I mean, the kind of training you go through, and you're living how many feet above? 30,000 feet above the earth.
Yeah, you can go more than 30.
Yeah, you see, only special. You know, where ZFM is stationed, we see the flights coming. I mean, listen, the average folks don't do that. No, average folks drive on the ground. If there is a puncture, they park.
yeah.
You people go up there. If there is something,
Calm down.
you're coming down, man. You got to be special to do that. Thank you so much, folks, for coming. I mean, any final words before I ask you?
Well, I'll say
Today's World Pilot Day.
Yes, it's our day actually. So, if anybody wants to maybe become a pilot or go through a certain form of training or consultation, I mean, we'll leave our contacts, or we can put our contacts out there. And also, I'd like to say a big thank you to people in the industry, some pilots in the industry. Also, thank the All About Aviation WhatsApp group. We have a lot of pilots in there. Pilots like Bismarck, Kelly, Bernard, all those guys are very good. Chrissy, they've been great to me, and then they are really, really raising the flags of Ghana very high. And then big thank you to my dad, Engineer Francis Akujram. Yes. I mean, he made this possible. I mean, trying to sponsor someone for flight training wasn't easy, but then
You appreciate what he put into it.
Yes, so much. And then some friends also. I mean, a big thank you to everybody.
Sky Flight Training and Consult Limited. What do you do there?
Yeah, so as I say, Sky Flight Training and Consult, yes. So we train people, ground training. Also, if you want to become a pilot, you go through the ground training phase, and then with the trainings being done outside, that's in South Africa. Yes.
Okay.
So we help you get all the documentation you need to travel out and then continue your training. So in terms of consultation, whatever you want to know about becoming a pilot, you contact us and then we'll help you.
Fantastic. That's Captain Enesowa Kujiram. He's the pilot and also the chief executive of Skyflight Training and Consult Limited. Let's come to the drone pilot, Mr. Cecil Abrakwa. You have the last word.
Okay, sir. So, firstly, I just want to encourage anybody who has a passion to be in aviation, and there's a lot of things you can do. So you shouldn't let your dreams die. It could be financial issues, but you should still have the passion, and then there are several opportunities that are coming up. So you just have to put your head on the ground and be looking out for those things. And also, anybody who is out there in the drone industry, I think the first thing you should do is follow the rules. You have to go according to what the rules say, so that you don't find yourself in a tricky position. So just try as much as possible to abide by the rules. If you have problems, you just have to confirm from anybody or from the authority itself. And then basically, like I said earlier, we also help people in drone consultation. So if you're a company that wants to operate a drone commercially, and you need, because there's a whole process for that. So if you need help with that, you can contact us for that too. Anybody who even wants to buy a drone, but I don't know what kind of drone to buy, you want to sell drones, all these things, there are regulations regarding that, and people don't know that. So if anything about drones, you can also contact us, and then we'll be here to help you.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. You've been listening to Captain Enesowa Kujiram, who's a pilot, and then also Mr. Cecil Abrakwa, who is a drone pilot. Thank you so much, and have a great World Pilot Day. Thank you so much.
In the heart of Accra, nestled in the vibrant neighborhood of East Legon and New Beacon, a 360 multimedia firm has emerged. Introduced